This is Stephanie with Hightower Stitching. Today's video is directions for a crocheted potholder. I've been making potholders for a long time. One of the first things I did was learn how to crochet, and all along I looked for a potholder that I really like, and I finally found one, and I wanted to share it with you because it's got a little stitch in there that gave me a fit. And if you have that, this is a crip. But I got you some notes. Like the first thing is you're going to use an F hook. You're going to begin with 29 single crochets, a chain. Then the first row is going to be half double crochet in the third stitch and then all the way across. When you start the next row, you're going to do 2 single crochets, a chain, and then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in that same stitch. Then you're going to start the pattern. You're going to repeat back, half double crochet, front, double crochet, half double crochet. You're going to go to the last stitch, which will be a half double crochet, and that's the part that I wanted to show you. You're going to continue your square. It's going to be about 6 inches. The last row, I make a half double crochet all the way across and then tie it off. And this is a 2-sided potholder, so you'll make another one just like that one, and you'll turn them the opposite from each other. You know, if you went one way with your rows, then you're going to turn it the other way with the rows and sew the two together with single crochet all the way around. And I usually do 2 single crochets, and that's what you see here. So here we go. When I start my potholders, you start with a loop. You're going to make a chain. I like to make a knot and put it in there. You can use the other kind, but I do that so at the end it won't come apart or anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the chain. I'm going to grab the yarn and pull it through. That's stitch 1, and then stitch 2, stitch 3, stitch 4, and I'm going to go to 15. Now I've got the small chain that I'm doing for the demo, and I've got a chain that goes all the way down back. I'm going to grab it. I've got my fingers hooked so I can control the tension. I'm going to take and grab my thread. I'm going to go out to the 3rd stitch. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a half double crochet in that. That means I'm going to go in, grab 2 loops, come back out, and now I've got 3. And instead of doing a double crochet, a half is just slide it all the way through there. And that's one of them. Let's do it again. Over, slide through 2 loops, pull it up, there's your 3, and pull it through. We'll do one more, and then I'll do the rest in a second. There's another one, and it gets pretty fast as you go. Now I've completed my first row, and it's only half double crochets all the way across. I'm ready to start my next row. I'm going to take and do 2 single crochets to make a little mini chain. Then I'm going to turn everything over, and from here you can really see well. And I'm going to take, the first thing I'm going to do is make a half double crochet in the same place where that chain 2 is. I'm going to go in, grab it just like we did on the other row, and pull it through. Now here's the part that kept me going. I couldn't quite get. I'm used to looking at the front and I see 2 loops. Well, if you turn just a little bit, all of a sudden you see a 3rd loop back there in the back, and that's the one we're going to use, the back one and the front one. And when you start your row, you start with a back one, so you thread over, okay, and the back one's easy to catch. You just go back there, go down into it, grab your thread, and pull it through, and you've made the first part of your pattern. Let's see, there it goes. All right, the next one is the one that sort of, it's the front, And so what I do to get, at first, for the first row, to get it easier to get in, I go and pull that loop up, and I slide my needle under it, and I pull it up, and there's that, and that makes the front. Now you can't see a pattern yet, but here I'm going to do, now I did a back, I did a front, and I'm going to go into the back loop of the next one. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to grab it, not the loop, but the thread, and pull it through. That's a back. And now I'm going to do the front. And again, on the first row, and sometimes even when I'm working on it, I just find it's better to go pull that front loop up, and then I can hook and pull back. Okay, I finished my first row. I've ended on a half double crochet to the back. That's important. And you can see there's a lot over here, but that's just going to be where I put my last half double crochet in the end. And we will have finished the second row. But this one starts the pattern, and if you see, you can see that it's a little upraised. So we're going to take and we're going to chain 2. We're going to turn it over. We're going to do a half double crochet, and that's on that paper again if you pause it and want to copy it down. Now I'm ready to start. Everything looks good, and what happens is the one that's showing is the front, and I call that the spoke. So the very first one, if you'll remember, I said you're always going to do the back first. So this is perfect. I've got a front, so I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to slide under it, pick up my thread, and then pull it through. So now I did that, was on the back. Now I'm going to yarn over, and this time I'm going to go to the front, and this time it's so much easier. I can just turn it and slide it, and get my thumb out of your way, and pull it through. Now I've got a front, a back, and a front, and then I've got a spoke sticking up, so I'm going to go back into the third loop behind it, pull through, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to do the front, and I'm going to do that all the way across, and you can see how much easier it is the second time. Once you get that second row in there, it's easy to see them. And then always just look that you're going into the spoke when you're going to do the back stitch. It's caught sometimes. Okay, there I was talking, so I did a back, or the front. Now I'm going to go back into a back stitch. And right now I've got part of it done. Let's see if you can see a pattern. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. And there you can see it. You can see the one's up, one's down, one's up, and one's down. Let's see if you can see it on this blue one. You can see that there's one up, and the other one is the one that's back behind it. And it's going to look the same on the front as on the back. Now I finished another row, and then you just keep doing that all the way through, and you can do all kinds of fun things. Like this is one that I did, and it's just one color, and then I just knotted it on the end and did the next color, and then your string with a knot goes between the two potholders when you put them together. This was a ball of thread that was already variegated, so all I had to do was just start and then keep going all the way around. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. I hope that you enjoy trying to make one of these potholders.